I don't even really know the best way to tee this up because it's like the least surprising news story ever. The Golden Globes are corrupt, and they use their status, these 90 people, to grease their own palms. Ooh, big surprise! But the LA Times had really two articles that came out over the weekend. One that was like an investigative piece, kind of looking at this court. Appeal or that's going currently ongoing after a case was brought and shot down beforehand, where this person wanted to be put into the Hollywood foreign press and felt like they were being basically like blackballed out of it,
Right.
and it has led to some of the issues with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association being highlighted. And then another article kind of exposing or talking about the people who are actually in the Hollywood Foreign Press. And um, generally, what were your takeaways from these articles? Anything that really like stood out to you? Anything that was notable?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it was illuminating just for shedding like finer detail on things people have kind of openly known and talked about. Because I looked back, we said the Golden Globes didn't matter like the past 3 years, and so as many people, this is not a new thought.
Mhm.
They've been openly mocked for their lack of credibility, the HFPA,
Mhm.
and also uh, criticized for their shadowy nature as this cabal of foreign journalists, less than 100 of them. No one really knows who they are. They're not well-known media people. It's one thing if it was like A.O. Scott at the New York Times and David Ehrlich at IndieWire, famous
Mhm.
movie critics, and Richard Brody from the New Yorker, one of the probably less legendary guy we have at this time who critiques movies. It's not that. It's no one close. You have no idea who any of these people are. And the LA Times report kind of hammered home that, yeah, a lot of these people like barely even work in foreign Hollywood media.
Mhm.
So it's like, what the fuck is going on here? But then I think it's important to remember that the Golden Globes is still a relatively popular event as far as things are concerned. It's like 20 million viewers every year. And, apart from live sports, that's really fucking high these days. People
Yeah.
care. And you can tell, we know this, we've known this forever, and you can see the evidence that the Golden Globes are seen as good marketing for movies that have awards prospect, because this is the
Mhm.
second most viewed uh, awards night for movies and TV. This is watched more than the Emmys, even though we give the Emmys way more credibility for television.
Mhm.
So, I think just seeing this detail and seeing like some HFPA members being, you know, named and explain what they do and don't do professionally was illuminating. I guess like there's no new takeaways. We already knew all this stuff, but like I think just seeing it out in the open is good. And there's talk that like this pressure could amount to something. Let's hope. But yeah, it's not too surprising, unfortunately.
Yeah. It, I think the fact that it's gaining traction is a bit surprising because similar to like, and this is going to be a weird comparison. I'm going to caveat this. Similar to like the Woody Allen documentary that came out, where people are like, "Oh my God, Woody Allen! Like, well,
Yeah,
he's totally canceled now." It's like, bro, we've known this. Like, we know
yeah,
he's not a good dude. We know that
not news.
we know that the Hollywood Foreign Press is a corrupt organization of like 90 people who have this huge status only because of the timing. And I think because they also know how to do an award show the way people want to see stars, where they're kind of a lot of times they're drunk, they're
Mhm.
a little bit more candid than they are at these other ceremonies.
Yeah,
It's a little bit
small
looser.
room. They're
Yeah,
very social. That's like the whole point.
right. So it I think people just enjoy watching because they see stars in a different setting than they do for the rest of the time. But it's just the problem I think I have with the Hollywood Foreign Press, at least this year, and kind of goes back to an issue they have in past years. It's just the choices that they make in
Yeah.
nominating and who wins. We highlighted this in our past review, but the Five Bloods, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, not receiving any nominations, as well as Judas and the Black Messiah.
Mhm.
Just
And
it's a
on TV
huge
side, I May Destroy You,
right. Like
completely shut out, which
uh,
is ludicrous.
yeah, these shows and films that are excellent but have black stars and creators at the
Hmm.
forefront not being awarded is the issue I have this year. I don't really
Right.
care because nothing else is new.
Right, and I think, confirming it from that LA Times report, there are no black members in
Yep.
the HFPA. There are other people of color, but there's no specifically black members. I was like, huh, yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. They have a really bad track record with honoring uh, black art. They also have a bad track record with women. This is the first year they've nominated, I think, more than two women at a time. Like the list of women they've even nominated for best director is like five names before this year. Last
Now
time,
three of them are, I think,
yeah,
right?
right. It's
So
Fennell, Regina King,
and
and
Shao.
Chloe Zhao this year.
Yeah.
But and yeah, they said that they're working to improve now. But like again, like you mentioned, the reason this is all coming up is because of that court case, and like you have this ethics, all these ethical things where HFBA wants to remain exclusive and shadowy. They don't want actual qualified people that work in and around film to join and actually lend credibility and credence to this organization. They're not interested in that. They're just trying to hang out with celebrities and get glad handed and used for marketing. They're very happy to be used, right? Like one of the biggest criticisms this year was that Emily in Paris got multiple nominations on the TV front, a show that's noted for not being good. Also, weird that the foreign press would nominate something that's such like a really stereotypical white American goes abroad thing. Like
Mm,
there's not a lot of good things to say about Emily in Paris critically, right? Yet we found out in this report that oh yeah, they wined and dined Emily in Paris, the production, Netflix, and I think Paramount was involved with it. They wined and dined like 30 HFPA members and put them up at a 5-star hotel in Paris and visit the set and stuff. And not that media is invited to the set all the time. That's common. But like to like pointedly bring the HFPA to your set when they're not going to make any valuable media coverage to promote your work out of it, you're just going to reward them later with a Globe nomination. Like it's just so obvious, you know.
yeah. Yeah. I really wish just one of these like awards, like SAG or something like that, would just move their show before the Golden Globes. I feel like that would like change a lot of the storyline around them because it
Mhm.
being the first one really just gives them so much I don't know, momentum, I guess. People want to see this. They're interested. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that it's really tough too because we had other awards, right? Like you have the Gotham Awards
Yeah.
happen, you have the critics groups and stuff, but like none of that is ever going to like be a television event. Like, and I
Mm,
don't think the Guild Awards can really approach that either. So I think you need Hollywood buy-in to stop caring about the Globes. And that report even saying that if Hollywood didn't care about the benefits that the Globes provide, then things would change. But it
mhm.
seems like you know they'll keep rolling with it. So that's unfortunate. But in the meantime, we can just continue to remind people that the voting body is not representative of any of the other voting bodies. Right? SAG. We got SAG nominations. That's the first thing that's any kind of representation of what the Oscars have become. So it's always important to remember that the Globes really have no bearing on much of anything
Yep.
besides helping market movies.
The Golden Globes are the Grammys of movies. So, unfortunately, even
Right.
though the Grammys should be the Oscars.